Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Wednesday, June 22nd, 10:15 Central Time. It's a recording of this video. And again, I do that so I can remind myself to upload this thing. Fortunately, my assistant changed hours, and yeah, not as easy to get them out as I would like. So it's hard to get them out early like I used to do in the early AM. But in any case, we are going to get it done. Flare Network is in the news. Mickey B. Fresh, that dude, laid out some really good information, some really exciting news coming out of Flare Network in reference to the Spark token. We're going to get into that for sure. John Deaton is just doing his thing. Gotta tell you, what's going on with SBI? SBI is making some news. Shout out to Fidelity for keeping us updated with all things over there. Fidelity Digital Assets really kind of lays it down. If you've been paying attention to Fidelity, she is very high on crypto. I think she lays out the big time deal with Bitcoin that a lot of people are missing without question. Yeah, Perry Boring. Interesting stuff. We'll share a little bit from her as well. And of course, the market is doing what the market does. We'll go over that as well. So listen, guys, this is your XRP Ripple daily news and around 0 to 10 minutes. So let's do it. Oh my goodness, look at this. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at $944 billion, down from an all-time high of $3 trillion. The Bitcoin dominance is at 41.5%. Bitcoin is trading at $20,545 again. Ethereum is trading at $1,101 again. XRP is trading at 32.3 cents again. What is going on with this market is absolutely crazy. Some double figure greens on some stuff. Uniswap's up 33%. Uniswap is down to $5. Wow. Down to $5. Down to $5 is Uniswap. So some double figure greens, Hedera had crashed up 10%. Elrond's up 29%. But again, the total cryptocurrency market cap, again, guys, is down from 3 trillion to under $1 trillion, guys. It means $944 billion. Just absolutely brutal. Mickey B. Fresh shares something. I think it's really important to get what's going on. A lot of people are concerned, really concerned. What's going to happen with the Spark token distribution come July 4th? The vast majority of people wanting to get their Spark tokens is going to come from exchanges. How is that going to work? You know, those of us that got the distribution via Celsius Network. How is it going to work? What is Celsius proposal? What is Flare Network's proposal? How they're going to get this thing fixed? And it's really good stuff. I'm going to share it. Mickey B. Fresh, I hope you're doing well, bro. After the Flare mainnet launch, initial 15 distribution of the Spark token will be airdropped to claimants of the 12/2020 snapshot of XRP, 15%, right? Up what you were supposed to get, 15%. Once 75% of the 15% Spark is available to claimants, we will vote on a government's proposal that allows claimants to redirect remaining 85% off of exchanges. Yeah. So be prepared for that, right? Be prepared for that. We will vote on government's proposal that allows the claimants to redirect the remaining 85% of the Spark off of exchanges. So take a listen. I believe Hugo Filion is going to share it here, but this is absolutely massive news. This is absolutely great news for sure, because a lot of people are going to be, whether it be Coinbase or whatever, they're just kind of trapped. Exchanges are not working well. And it feels like to me that Flare Networks and Hugo Filion realized that these exchanges don't care. If they got your stuff, they're going to make the money the way they can. They don't care about trying to get it to people. Don't care.
We really are trying to launch Flare on the 4th of July. And then, as I've mentioned previously, we think there's a better way to distribute the token that achieves some of our core objectives. Both objectives for the community, making it lower risk for the community, making it better rewarding to take part in the protocols, and generally making the network better and stronger and giving it a longer time for the ecosystem to come to fruition, such that we're more successful together. So, as you know, in the distribution proposal, it's 15% of the tokens being distributed on day one. And those are distributed obviously to people that have claimed them through, through their ledger devices, through self-custody, but the bulk of them are going to exchanges. And so we don't want to hold that governance vote until we are aware that at least 75% of the tokens are not with exchanges, but with the people that they're meant to go to. So we'll be watching exchanges to make sure they've distributed them. And then once 75% of the tokens have been distributed, that initial 15%, we will have a governance vote on the token distribution. And I'll be releasing the token distribution memo as soon as I get around to polishing it off, which will be soon.
Unfortunately, too.
And then on Flare, we'll have the network, we'll have the FTSO, we'll have the state connector, and then there's certain things you can do with that, which I'll go over in a minute. And then really the next major point is the F asset A launch, which is the F assets where 100% of the underlying are kept on the chain, on the origination chain. And that's also the self-minting option. Then we'll be launching a Songbird bridge such that tokens can move from Songbird onto Flare and from Flare onto Songbird. And then we really look forward to launching the first set of layer cake bridges. We really are trying to launch.
So the Songbird bridge, that's absolutely massive news, right? Mickey B. Fresh says, wow, huge news for everyone who claimed on an exchange. You'll still receive the initial 15% from your exchange, but best of all, there's no cooperation needed from exchanges to redirect the address for the remaining 36-month distribution to the new address. But the governance proposal needs to pass. So yeah, again, there will be no change to initial 15% and a 36-month distribution, but this government proposal will effectively remove risk of exchanges not passing on Spark token over the course of 36 months to their customers. Also, there will be added incentives for people to engage with Flare networks. Right? Participation. We'll see about that. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. So 15% is going to be released, right? So it's going to the exchanges. And once they see like 75% of that 15% has been distributed, then they're going to submit the governance proposal, right, to redirect the rest of the Spark token, right? So if you're waiting till 75% of the first 15% gets launched, there's still a remaining 25%, right? So to be able to redirect, so to be another 25% of the 15% if the government proposal passes, that's my understanding. And then, the whole 36-month thing, those redirected addresses, if the governance proposal does pass, you'll be able to set up your own, kind of address and redirect it to where you want it custodied, and you don't have to deal with exchanges. So that is really, really, really good news. Shout out to Mickey B. Fresh. I hope you're well, bro. Thanks for sharing. So that's really good news. And it looks like I have that here twice. Don't need to go over that. Crypto Eddie says, what makes me smile, John Deaton, is remember the so-called banking journalist, which I'll keep unnamed, wrote in Forbes back in 2019 that Ripple wasn't solving a problem and continually tweeted SBI wasn't a real bank. Unbelievable. I think the world finally sees how wrong she was. So here it is from Giant Gox put this out, and John Deaton responded, SMFG in talks to buy 10% stake in FBI Holdings. John Deaton says, I believe this could be good news for XRP in the long term, considering SBI is Ripple's largest shareholder, and the CEO, Mr. Yoshitaka Katao, is a believer in XRP. He is the #1 fan of XRP, John Deaton. But I defer to Crypto Eddie on what it means, if anything. And then she put out this here, who SMBC Banking Corporation, part of Big Four in Japan. So SMFG Financial Group Incorporated, and SBI relations for 15 years. So yeah, it is absolutely a big deal. Take some stake in SBI, which gives them access to, you know, what's going on with MoneyTap and what's going on with XRP. So it's great news. And we all know that Mr. Katao has been, you know, making sure that this XRP gets used. He's the biggest fan ever. I think Fidelity says it's about Bitcoin. And I think people just need to really just kind of get it. This is from Fidelity Digital Assets. And again, big fan of the digital asset space is Fidelity. She is big on crypto. Our latest piece argues that Bitcoin's first technological breakthrough wasn't as a superior payment technology, but as a superior form of money. That's what we say on this channel all the time. Say this all the time. It's not about the technology. The best thing about it is the monetary policy. They write as a monetary good, right? A superior form of money, and it's a monetary good. It's not payment technology, right? They're two different things. The genius behind Bitcoin is the monetary policy that it developed and implemented into everyone's thinking of a better monetary policy. A better monetary policy. That's the thing we need to get, instead of having their monetary policy thrusted down our throats. Here's from the Digital Chamber of Digital Commerce. This is Perry and Boring. Very, very interesting here. Listen to what she says here, and what some research shared about the trading going on, where it's going on, and where the innovation is taking place. Very, very interesting.
When we talk about crypto in this town, a lot of people think financial innovation, but we are rebuilding the internet, a peer-to-peer internet, and that is going to impact every area of our economy, very similar to how the internet itself completely changed the way that we share information and the way government works and the way businesses work. Blockchains are going to do the same thing. And I strongly believe that if Washington is able to get this right, if they're able to build a regulatory framework that supports businesses developing and innovating here in the United States, we will see an economic boom in this country like we haven't seen in decades, something akin to what we saw to the internet boom or the economic growth we saw in the 1920s. It's that powerful, and it's that key that we get this right. We have a long way to go. When I testified in the Senate Ag Committee just a couple of months ago, Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEO of FTX, shared some data about what's actually happening in the crypto economy. And he said over 90% of trading volumes is happening outside of the US. Yet, the mass majority of intellectual property, so the development from our technical community that's going into building these innovations, that's coming from US people. So just think about that for a minute. How disappointing and how much of a problem is it that we have the American innovation economy putting a huge amount of time and resources and make up the majority of this ecosystem, yet it's all happening overseas. How did we get this so wrong to begin with? How did we push so much innovation, so much economic activity elsewhere? We need to bring that back if the US wants to remain at the forefront of technical and financial leadership.
Yeah, and that affects we've been in this space for a while. We've seen all the opportunities taken away from us as U.S. retail investors. All of those major opportunities taken away, and all the other countries and nations were able to benefit from it. Right? Sure, there's risk, but there's opportunity there as well. We need to be in a position where people don't feel like they need to be babysitted or that they need a babysitter. You know, we need to get to that point. Greg Kidd said it best about the whole babysitter thing. I agree 10,000%. So Jason Williams, I don't know if this who Jason Williams is. But anyway, he said, for the record, I hope Celsius gets bailed out and the folks that have Bitcoin and other assets locked up get them back. That would be great. Nothing positive, nothing at all positive about Mount Gox 2022. Nothing. All right, he said, and John Deaton said, I've seen people disagree with Jason's sentiment, but many conflate a private sector bailout versus a government bailout. If a company saves Celsius Network and customers' funds are safeguarded, it is a good thing. And it is not the equivalent of a government bailout. It's capitalism at work, right? And that's 10,000% correct. And it's not just so much about whether or not a company is going to save it. What it is about is recognizing that Celsius Network is the biggest player in crypto, period. Like, period. The most amount of Bitcoin, the most amount of Ethereum, period. And has held up in a lot of ways, like more Bitcoin than Sailor at one time, period. Right. So especially the biggest, I believe, more than Sailor as well. Like the number one player. Right. And so, you know, it's hugely important to recognize what's going on and recognize what the big fight is. And stop thinking the fight is with BTC maxis or Cardano, right? Maxis. It's not. It is with the banking regulators. Again, ask Caitlin Long. She elegantly pointed it out. You know, the SEC is a problem, but they ain't the main problem. She said it's the banking regulators that are the main problem. That don't want this to move forward. And if I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. They are trying to take your crypto. I just saw something happened in Louisiana, some bill or something got passed for financial institutions to custody your Bitcoin and sell your Bitcoin. Again, they are trying to turn the digital asset space over to the financial institutions, right? And then charge you for access to it. It's just a matter of time before that's going to happen if you don't fight for the likes of Celsius Network. Just saying. Charles Hoskinson put something out here that is really, really interesting. Charles Hoskinson comments on the XRP lawsuit, calls it regulation through enforcement. And John Deaton quotes him as well here. I think it creates perverse incentives inside the marketplace and ultimately regulatory arbitrage, because basically those jobs go to Singapore and they go elsewhere, which is what Perry Boring was essentially saying. It's really, really good to see that the XRP ledger never sleeps. I think they got like an NFT thing going on over there for the XRP ledger, some event. Hope you're doing well, Kenny. Thanks for sharing, bro. The XRP ledger never sleeps. And Simon Dixon, just to keep you updated, the guy who put the proposal for Celsius Network, private company, right? Giving equal access to giving people strategies and access to private equities, banktothefuture.com. Next week on News Asset, I think this is a channel, Digital Asset News. I want to give a summary of my proposal for Celsius Network depositors. If you want more, hang around, and I'll go deep into the historical context on why I think it's best. Okay. He says, okay with that, Rob. Shall we do a live Q&A too? ? Up here. So he's trying to get on the Digital Asset News channel here and share why he's looking to do it. And I hope, I'm certain that together they can work some stuff out and make some things happen without question, because it's great for all of crypto, right? It's great for all of crypto. It's important to note that. All right, guys, look, that is your XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I am going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.